Today I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing my first impressions and a little bit of an overview of the Cafelat robot. The Cafelat robot comes in two different versions, one at $400 and a $450 version that comes with a pressure gauge, which is what I have here today. So I just want to say welcome to Cabin's Coffee Corner. This channel is designed to help you choose the coffee gear that you want to brew with at home. So I hope you find this useful, and I just want to say, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I got a lot of great things coming up between a comparison of the robot and the flare on the features of it, as well as a comparison of the shot quality between the two, and not to mention adding and modding the Cafelat robot. So I'm really excited for what's coming down, and I just want to thank you for all the support that you've given me already through subscribing and liking my past videos, using the links below in the description that I have on my videos, which is affiliate links, which I'll make a slight commission at no extra charge to you, and that has really helped funding my channel to buy things like this robot. I also want to give a special shout out to my Patreon. All of my Patreon supporters have been really supportive in my videos here, and I'm just excited to see that grow, and I just want to thank you for all your support. Please subscribe and stay in tune for some great videos coming up soon. So now let's put this box aside and let's get into an overview of the robot and talk a little bit about its features and what it comes with. So far in the 2 weeks that I've owned this, which isn't too long, I have been thrilled with the results that I've been getting with. So I want to start by just putting this slightly aside, and I want to go over a few things. This is the Cafelat Porta Filter that comes with the robot, and all you simply do is lift up the arms here and you can lock it in. It's kind of hard to do backwards. Lock it in and it stays in there like that, and you pull the arms down, and that is what gives you your pressure. So this example is a representation of, this is a commercial size Porta Filter that you'd find with any traditional machine. This is Cafelat's version of it right here. So it's a little bit under 58, which is a commercial grade size here. Following that, we have the basket for Cafelat robot, which is a little bit deeper, quite a bit deeper than the traditional basket. This is an 18 gram VST basket for a commercial size machine. So you got quite a bit of a depth difference in here. So basically you just drop this in there, put it in the machine and lock it down. You have a dispersion screen, which I really like this dispersion screen. So basically what that is you add your grounds into the Porta Filter basket here. You tamp it with a tamper, and then you add this dispersion screen on top. They did a great thing, and they added this little silicone piece right here, which helps you pull it out of the basket. It's very useful, very helpful for basically taking it apart and cleaning it out afterwards. With this machine, with all of them, include a stainless steel tamper that fits perfectly in the basket here. And then it also fits perfectly in the little robot's hand here, so that's kind of fun. And I really enjoy that. Along with that, you have this double spout option. Whoops, I'll get to why that was in there later. You have this double spout option, and when I pick this stuff up, I feel like this is just amazing quality of stuff. It feels great when you hold it. It does not feel cheaply made at all. You might feel like that when you see the robot in pictures online, but this is a very well built, sturdy machine so far. Also with the robot comes a few different accessories. It has a digital manual that you just kind of use the QR code to get to. It came with some extra grease. The silicone gasket that you can see here on it, where the Porta Filter goes in there. It came with, I don't know how many of these are, I think maybe 100 or a couple hundred little pieces of paper that you put underneath the dispersion screen, which is supposed to help you get a better shot out of it. I've never used those. It comes with a little plastic white ring. I'm not entirely sure where that goes on the machine. And it comes with this gasket, which comes in line for putting the spouted Porta Filter on. And then it also comes with this little plug, which I'm assuming this plug goes in the bottom of the machine right here to plug off where the water gauge goes. There's a version where there's a gauge for pressure, and I believe that that's what's plugged in there. Obviously I haven't gotten too far into that, but that's basically what it comes with here. Now I want to start with, oh, it also comes with this double-sided rubber mat. It's got lines on one side. It fits perfectly in here, where you can put 2 cups, indents on one side and lines on the other, and you can flip that over however you want. So I want to go over a few of my thoughts for this, because I find a few of these things about the robot poor and great all at once. So I'm going to do a mixture of both, and I want to start with this. This is the pressure gauge. The pressure gauge goes on directly like that, and it has this little, I have a little bit of an extra mod that I did recently to it. It has this little cable here where basically water comes up and shoots into the pressure gauge to allow the pressure to be seen. So this little tube goes here, and then I basically added all of this metal stuff on the back, which I'll get into that a little bit later. So basically it's attached on the arm and it spins perfectly, so when you're pulling a shot you can see the pressure gauge. For $450, this is my biggest con on the robot. It's my con because this is tiny. This is so small, it's so hard to read, and especially when you're pulling these arms up, you almost have to just kind of get at a weird angle and crouch down and kind of move your head with it, and especially when you're standing up and not this close to the robot, it's very, very difficult to read the pressure gauge while pulling the shot. I think if the one thing Cafelat could have done differently, in my opinion, on this machine is mount this in a better spot, put it in a better way. On the arm is just a very, very poor choice. So that was one of the first things I fixed and I changed on this machine, because I was not happy with this. Not at all. So, done with that beef. What I did, and the biggest mod that I did for this machine, is I added this thing called, I went to a website called Naked Porta Filter. Naked Porta Filter is known for making this piece of equipment right here, which basically is a Bluetooth transmitter that connects to your manual machine if you get it fitted on there, and it replaces the pressure gauge and it connects with the scale so you can brew charge with. If you want to learn more on this, I have a video connected with the flare that you can find on my channel. So I reached out to them and I got this mount custom built for this machine. So it has a little piece of metal here and a attachment for the gauge, and I can unscrew something right here and fit this SEP device on this machine, so I can basically do my pressure profiling with this machine, which works. I haven't actually used it yet, but I'm excited to use that here down the road. This is what you need to buy. This is the one thing that you need to buy, in my opinion, for this to make it so much better. When you're pulling a shot and you're looking at this gauge from up right here, you can read it perfectly. Go buy this. They don't pay me for this. I don't get any commission for saying anything about this accessory. But the moment I got this, my shots were just so much better, and it was so much easier to make a shot of espresso with this machine. So that's the gauge. Really consider buying it. There's a link below. Again, no affiliation with the company. Paid everything, paid full price for it, but I think it was worth every single penny I put on that. Okay, now out of that, some other things that frustrate with me is this is a like 57 millimeter basket. Commercial size is 58. So when you take this tamper here, look how close that is. It's almost full enough to fit the basket, but it's just slightly small, versus this tamper is a barista hustle tamper. Very nice tamper. I got it recommended from a local shop called Archetype. Great place, you should check them out. Fits perfectly. Because it's just a little off, I can't use my other accessories that I have for my commercial grade machine at home. It doesn't fit in the basket, and it's a very frustrating thing because it's so close. I wish they would have just made it a tad bigger so I could have used some of the commercial grade accessories that I like. Overall on this machine is very easy, quickly to pull a shot. I have not preheated this machine. However, if you preheat the basket, the Porta Filter, and this is called, I think the piston is what they call it. If you preheat all of that, which I'm still learning a little bit more about that as I'm new to it, you'll get about a 25-degree difference in your shot. So this will be down, if you don't preheat anything, it'll be down to about 173 or so, versus you'll be at around 200 degrees for the entire time while pulling a shot if you preheat everything. So that's quite a bit of a difference, but without preheating it, I have gotten great results that I've been very, very happy with. So all I simply do is just grind, load the basket, I preheat my cup, I always preheat my cup, and then put this dispersion screen on there, lift up the hands, lock this in, just like so, and then pull my shot and we're good to go, and that's all I do. And then clean up, I simply pull this out. You'll see a full demonstration later down the road when I compare this with the shots of the flare. And then I simply just put my finger here, pull out this screen. There'll be a little bit of water, so the way I pull the shot is I pull a shot and then I take this thing out, that's it. And then I knock this into a knock box. And the puck is a little soupy, but I can pick this up and it's not overly hot and I don't have to cool it down, which is great. And you do have to just put your finger there on the lip, otherwise that'll fall straight down in there. So they could have made this locking a little bit just kind of like a traditional Porta Filter where there is a spring on the inside of it here that kind of keeps the basket from simply just falling out, and you kind of have to press it in a little bit more so you don't lose your basket in the knock box. But overall, for a manual machine, it's pretty easy to clean and brew a shot, pretty straightforward. I really, really like it. A couple other cons that I have with it is, let's talk about cups. This right here is my Akaya Pixis scale, or Cinco they don't exist in the Cinco, but they changed it to the Pixis. This is about the smallest scale that you can get, highly sought after scale. I want to take the basket here. At first, it was really, really difficult to get the basket on because you have to lift up the arms and kind of push up with your hand in there and lock it in. Other than that, it stays in well, no issues there. I'm gonna put that down. This is the Crew Propel Cup. So I wanna just do a little thing. I wanna throw a couple cups on there just so you can see how they fit. The Crew Cup with the Akaya scale fits, barely, but it fits, it doesn't hit there, it doesn't affect with the weight coming down from it. I want to move forward to, this is a not neutral Cortado cup. Barely fits, but it does fit. Now we're going to move over to a different line of cup called Not Neutral. Not Neutral makes very, very good cups. This is a handleless 8-ounce cappuccino cup. Fits, but one thing I want to note is look how close this is to the sides of the robot there. So it's a pretty close fit on there. This is the Fina Bone China series from Not Neutral, 10 ounces. You could probably get it to fit, but it's going to be really finicky, and you have to balance it just right and get it just far enough away because of the edges of there. You add a full-size latte cup. This was 10 ounces. I can't remember if I said that. If you add a full-ounce latte cup, it's a struggle. It's not even going to really work. And for me, that's a huge drawback on there. It's just a very, very tight space, which for a lot of people isn't a big deal, but for me to get cups, I like to just brew shots straight into a cup and not like a little pitcher that you pour into your cups. That's just how I work. This is the Fellow tasting glass, which I actually use for small 10-ounce lattes. This shocked me a little bit. So if you angle it in, oh, no, it actually doesn't fit. Some cups you can kind of angle in and get it in there. I realized when I tried this right before, I've never actually tried to brew directly into this. It fit without this Porta Filter on. But I do have like an 8-ounce Husky cup, and I can get it to fit right around the edges of this so I can brew a shot and it works well. But you can almost get that in there. You could brew a shot into it, but it touches the sides of it. But some of them just line up perfectly in there, so there's not a lot of glass options for it. It is a very, very frustrating thing, especially when you're trying to put a small scale and just pull simply just into anything bigger than like this little 8-ounce cup, or if you want anything bigger than an 8-ounce drink, you're gonna have a hard time fitting a cup underneath of it. There's a lot of different ways to preheat. There's a silicone cap that you can put into the spout and kind of preheat that way and put that on there so it doesn't leak. But overall, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not really have that much interest in buying this. there's some frustrating things where you have to kind of lift it up and kind of angle this in a weird way to pop the basket off of the seal, off of the gasket after you pull a shot. But overall, after using this for a couple of years, or a couple of weeks, not a couple of years, I want to keep using it. I love this machine. It pulls great shots, but for $450, you have a lot of other options to consider. You could almost get one of the lower end Breville machines. You could get a flare. You could get a super nice grinder and do pour over really, really well. $450 is a lot of money, and for $450, in my opinion, you're getting a gauge that is almost useless in my opinion. There's some hacks around it, but I feel at $450 you should get a gauge that works great for a machine. I don't know. Did I miss anything? What do you like about the robot? I pull great shots with this without even preheating, which is crazy. I haven't even used the paper filters because I don't want to add more paper filters to my collection because I have so many from all the pour over things that are out there. So I literally do this as easily as possible in the morning. The workflow is so simple, it's so straightforward. I mean, you grind, you pour grounds in there, you tamp, you add a dispersion screen, lift up the arms and pull down. Maybe pre-infuse for a bit. But my typical recipe so far has been 18 grams in, and I go 36 out, and I pre-infuse for 20 to 30 seconds, and then I pull the shot for 30 seconds. And almost every single time, I have gotten phenomenally great drinkable shots. Like, this is a machine that I pull a shot with, and it's like, it's so good, I wanna pull another shot. And that's a huge thing when you're talking about making a shot of espresso for $450, and that sounds like a lot for a lot of people because it is a lot of money, but when you're talking in the realm of espresso machines, $450 is cheap. It's a low-end machine. When you add all the maintenance of a boiler and all this stuff, there's a lot of moving parts here, there's screws here, so that could be, like, there's a little bit of maintenance, there's a little bit of taking it apart if you want to completely take this apart. You have to add some grease in here, maybe replace a couple gaskets, but you never have to descale. You never have to back flush. And if you don't know what those terms are, that's okay. If you Google them, that's a lot of maintenance that you have to do in a machine. That's a lot of cleaning supplies that you have to buy, versus this is straightforward. I rinse this out in the sink, maybe wipe that down a thing or two, clean up some of the sprays that I get every once in a while, and then I'm done. That's it. Like, this thing isn't gonna break on me. This thing feels so sturdy. It's small, it's lightweight. This is 9 pounds is I think what the shipping thing that I got from Prima for the box that it came in. 9 pounds. This, oh, I totally forgot about, this is huge. The stability of this thing, when you're pulling a shot, this thing is not moving on you. Because they did a great thing here where they added that silicone ring on the bottom here. So it grips the table so it doesn't slide around. When you're pulling a shot, it's super sturdy. I've had this for 2 weeks and I'm beyond amazed by it. What are some of the things I missed? Do you have a robot? Do you have questions about it that I didn't cover? What are your experiences? Are they great? Are they bad? I'm excited to use this machine more. I'm excited to add this Smart Espresso Profiler to the back of it and to pull a shot comparing the flare, seeing the profiles of that. You're gonna see coming up here soon a video comparing the features of this and the features to the Flare Pro 2, which I have and I've used for a while now, and seeing the pros and cons between both of them and kind of helping you have a decision on whether you want to buy this guy or the Flare. But right now I just want to say thank you for watching, thank you for the support, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and stay tuned for the upcoming videos that I have for this year. Thank you for watching.